this feeling probably only applies to people that upload battles. I mean, if you want to generalize it, it could also apply to anyone that uploads content in general. But you ever like look in your folder of stuff and you're just like, I'm not really feeling any of these things, and you have plenty of things to upload, but you just don't want to upload any of them that you have on stock? And I had that. Like, I had a rotation match and then I had a monotype, and I was like, I don't want to upload either of this. I feel like I've been too gimmicky this week. So I went and hunted down a match on Tumblr, and I got a match against a guy by the name of Manuel Hernandez, and I think his name is Hernandezzy09 on YouTube. I don't remember. I'm just going to leave that in the title or something like that. But he said, yeah, I kind of want a you kind of thing. I was like, I don't even care. I want to have a good battle for today. And if you look at the length of this video, it was a damn good battle. So we're going to go ahead and get it started, I guess. I lead off with Heracross, just expecting him to go for the sleep powder right off the bat. And turns out I get a free sub and an SD. Now, I do admit that I play this part fairly poorly against Golurk, because I did have the potential to just do a lot of damage to his team right now. Just based on the fact that he was Life Orb, I should have subbed down more to the point where Mega Horn would have been a sure KO. Just based on that, like 2 or 3 more subs definitely would have done it, but instead he's actually going to hit me with a dynamic punch. And No Guard Golurk is pretty cool, since, you know, you actually get to hit dynamic punches all the time. And he's got Shadow Punch, I suppose, for stab, and he's probably got Earthquake for his other move. But I hit myself in confusion there because I'm SD boosted. That shit does a lot, and he's just gonna go ahead and finish me off with a Shadow Punch from there. Also dying to the Life of Recoil, which is that's kind of a plus, I guess. But to double down, I lose my Heracross in the first couple of turns, so played that poorly. But you know, the rest of the match, I just kind of thought a little bit better. So I decided I'm gonna bring a Smeargle because I wanted to belly drum pass out to that, and I completely forgot base speeds, and I thought for some reason that Smeargle was faster than Roserade. And it turns out that he is actually Life Orb. He's a Life Orb Roserade, which I don't really run into that often. I was just kind of expecting to be faster, and then to put him to sleep, and then double Spore because, you know, Natural Cure and whatnot, but he kicks in my Salak Berry. He could have killed me right off the bat. I didn't know what else he had on his set at the moment, but if he went for Sludge Bomb instead, I think we learn a little bit later that he doesn't have Sludge Bomb, but I figure I'm just go ahead and pass out my my Salak Berry boost to my Honchkrow, because it's like one of the only other things that can really take advantage of it. This is a Scarf one, so it's got like an agility on it now, but I'm still choice locked onto it. If I was banded and I tried the same thing, this definitely would have been a hell of a lot more successful. But he's going to go ahead and protect, get a little bit more HP going on. Now, what I didn't really piece together, I was like, holy fuck, this Scald does a lot. I forgot that I put him in Torrent range, so this is actually why this Scald is going to bring me down to like low, super low red. And he's got to decide what to sack right here, if he wants to sack this thing or if he wants to sack something else. He decides that as Galvantula is probably going to be the most valuable thing to sacrifice slash, you know, least valuable thing on his team in general. Mainly because I do have a Lantern going on this team, and I also have a Nidoqueen, so he would need to take out both of those in order for it to operate effectively. So that was actually a pretty good play on his behalf, just throwing that in, because that was definitely going to be the least useful thing. But I bring in my Smeargle again, and I'm thinking that Honchkrow is actually like, you don't see Insomnia Crow anymore, is what I'm trying to say. So I figure I'm gonna go for a Spore. I should have double Spored right here, expecting the switch out, because I would have put this Yanmega to sleep and it just wouldn't benefit me. But I'm gonna go ahead and Baton Pass out, and I decide to go out into my Arcanine, because sometimes these things don't run HP ground, sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But this is my bulky Arcanine, the thing that I've fallen in love with, you know, after using it for like X amount of games. It does so good. Granted, it didn't really do good in the battle that Shofu uploaded against me today, but I was matched up against a Suicune. What do you want me to say to that? Anyways, going back to this, he takes an HP ground and is able to take him out with a Flamethrower. And I'm noticing after I take this HP ground that I really need to take care of this Arcanine, because his Roserade is weak to it. I can take out his Blastoise at the range of HP it's at with the HP Electric or Grass. I honestly forget what I am, but that shit is probably going to matter one of these days when I'm facing off against a Swampert or a Gastrodon. But right there, he goes for Sucker Punch. This is huge. I don't think he was really expecting that. you know, anticipating that. He should have anticipated that I was bulky just based on the amount that HP grounded and that I actually lived it. But he tries to Sucker Punch twice. I'm actually going to go ahead and take advantage of that and go for the Will-O-Wisp and then the Morning Sun to get myself back up to full. And ladies and gentlemen, you know, I kept the Yanmega at bay. I'm not even specially defensive, and I've burned his Honchkrow. So right off the bat, you know, it's pulling its own weight. If I had gone for an HP Electric or Grass right here, that would have been better, but I figured the best thing to do right there was go into Nidoqueen and try to set up some hazards, slash, you know, try to take out this Blastoise. But I didn't know that he was going to bring it in at the time. I was like, I'm just going to bring in Nidoqueen and Honchkrow and use it as setup fodder. But he goes for, I forget what he did right there. What failed? I have no fucking idea. Anyways, go out into my Lantern. This is a bulkier, I think this is a specially defensive one. Regardless, I don't want to stay in on Roserade, so I'm just going to go ahead and get out of there. This is also a Heal Beller, which is actually going to come a little bit, come into play a little bit later. But I bring in my Smeargle, and he's going to end up going for the Spikes, probably just to let this thing die. And I was like, you know what, I'm going to let this thing die too. And he's not going to get that much HP back from it. I'd rather sack it. So, I don't know what the base speeds are. I really should have looked into what Smeargle was all about before I brought it in, but he only gets a 1 layer off as I bring in my Arcanine. And for whatever reason, I didn't put together Roserade and Sleep Powder in this moment because I decided to use this thing as sleep fodder. The most valuable thing on my team I'm trying to take care of is now asleep. Arcanine sleeping on the job. What are you doing? This is stupid. I do have a Heal Belly though, but it's going to be a little bit riskier to bring it in now with Roserade running around. However, it is very easy to bring it in on Blastoise and threaten it out with a Volt Switch or a Thunderbolt. He still doesn't know what my set is all about yet. But I'm asleep. I'm trying to see how much I'm going to stay asleep for, and it turns out I don't wake up in time. So the best thing to do is probably just going to be to Heal Bell and wake him up if it's not going to be a first turn wake or a second turn wake. But he's going to go for Scald. As you can see, it does nothing, and the amount of Scalds and like not getting burns in this game is really funny to me. But I had options here because I actually run Scald, Ice Beam, and Volt Switch. So if I wanted to go for an Ice Beam somewhere along the way, predicting Roserade to come in, there was definitely the opportunity to over-predict. He has now seen that I have Volt Switch, so I could go for that too, but he doesn't know that I have Ice Beam at this point, and I don't remember if I go for it here, if I just go, okay, I do go for Ice Beam, because Lantern, you know, is, well, this Lantern in particular is very specially defensive. You know, it really doesn't have a whole lot of offense, and it doesn't do that much. Now, I get a Freeze, which really, in the long run, doesn't matter at all, because I get it on a Natural Cure Poke, and the thing that is actually probably the most bothersome to him is he has to switch it out to get rid of the Freeze, and he has to go into his Honchkrow as death fodder now, potentially. But I actually decided to bring in my Arcanine now to try to burn off some of these sleep turns, and you know, he's intimidated and he's burned, so he's not really going to do too much with this Brave Bird, and I'm just really trying to burn this off. I think this is where I finally estimate that I need to Heal Bell. I thought it was before. It actually turns out that it's now. You'd think I'd remember this match, but I went off to watch YouTube videos and stuff, so I got other matches stuck in my head. But Blastoise comes in. I'm actually I believe that I make that double switch into Lantern, and I could go for the Volt Switch again, but he's going to Protect just to get some lefties HP back, as always, just because I don't have any hazard set up. I have the thing. Oh, he doesn't Protect. Okay. He goes for Scald. I believe I go for Heal Bell on this turn to wake my Arcanine up, and that's great. It would have been really cool if I kept my Smeargle as sleep fodder, but that would have just involved, you know, predicting that to come in, and then I think he had the 1 layer of Spikes set up at that point, so I think it might have died to Spikes, period, and I don't have anything on my team naturally faster than Roserade anymore. Like, this is kind of a bulky team, and I was like, shit, okay, whatever. But I'm going to go ahead and go for the Volt Switch on the turn that he goes for Scald, I believe, and go out into Nidoqueen, because I want to try to take him out with the Sheer Force boosted Earth Power, because I think that is a thing that it can do now. It can Sheer Force with the Earth Power, and also have the Stealth Rocks and the Toxic Spikes thanks to Move Tutors. This set is illegal. I did not know, but I'm pretty sure I think it is. So I go for the Earth Power, and just based on that turn from earlier with the lefties or what the fuck ever, he lives with around the same amount that he would have with lefties. And honestly, I thought I would live this next Scald because I took Spikes damage coming in, and I was like, okay, he put me at around half even with Spikes damage. I'll try risking it, and it really doesn't end up working out because Blastoise is still alive, and it's just continually gaining HP. I'm going to bring in Arcanine now that it's awake, and this should alert him to the fact that I do have a super effective move I can go for against him. And he's gonna go ahead and protect the scat out to see what I would actually end up going for in order to try killing it off. Plus, right here with the leftovers, it's evident that I am faster than him, so he's gonna have to make a prediction based on that. And based on the other thing from earlier where I switched up moves on his protect, I think he expected me to do that again. I think that was versus Lantern that I did that, and I stuck with the same move. He probably expected me to do that, or no, I changed up moves. That's what happened there, but I think you get what I'm trying to say there. So I stuck with Hidden Power, and it kind of worked out because Blastoise is dead, but my Nidoqueen is dead too, so no spinning away on any of my non-existent hazards. But Honchko is going to come in, and even burned, it's still doing a really decent chunk to Lantern, and I think this is Choice Band. So Brave Bird is looking like a 5-hit KO after lefties, which is kind of funny. Right here, I probably should have done something else. I was thinking about something I could have taken advantage of in that turn, but in reality, what I wanted to do was sack this thing and leave it at a low amount of HP so Roserade couldn't Giga Drain that much back. But in reality, it turns out that it gets a lot back. Like, it gets like 25% back, and then with Life Orb, it just kind of brings it down. But that's kind of whatever. So it's Roserade versus Arcanine. I believe this is the 1 versus 1 scenario at this point, and I'm not doing too good on HP, but I'm also thinking about earlier the fact that he doesn't have Sludge Bomb is going to be kind of important because I have a lot of HP, and he's not going to be able to take me out too reliably with any of these hits. So the best he can do is Giga Drain and then just try to get back up to some decent HP, and I can try to wake up, because honestly, it was just based on whether or not I was gonna fucking wake up. I was hoping for a Sleep Powder miss, but to be honest, I got a freeze, like one that didn't matter, and he didn't get any burns on his Scalds or anything like that. So I'd say the hacks is kind of evening out, and this Arcanine just spends a lot of time sleeping. Now, it's worth mentioning that on this next turn, if I had stayed asleep, I think I wake up now, but if I stayed asleep, I would have gone for the Morning Sun, and then this battle would have just gotten even longer until he ran out of Giga Drains. I would have stalled that out, and then all he would have had is HP Fires, and then just kind of gone from there. But Arcanine pulls through. God, I fucking love that Arcanine. Holy shit. Okay, that is the game. That is a game like hot off the presses, hot off the DS presses, and I think I took it like less than an hour ago, so that's a thing. If you guys enjoyed it though, you are more than welcome to leave a like, rating, comment, subscribe, do your thing, and that's gonna do it for this week on uploads and shit. So yeah, bye.